That's good. You know, the only thing better than having coffee in a MarcyJo's mug is having coffee at MarcyJo's. Let's check in and see what Marcy and Joey are cooking today.
Y'all come on in and sit wherever you want.
Do you ever go to the restaurant and order meatloaf? Well, I usually don't, because it's just not the same as Mom's meatloaf. How about you, Mars?
I never go either. I find it really bland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing about our meatloaf. Growing up, Mom made this incredible meatloaf, and that was just one thing we wanted to bring here to MarcyJo's and try to bring a recipe that resembles what Mom would make and then just make it a little bit better.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing.
And everybody loves our meatloaf here.
They do.
They really, really do.
Well, and I think the key is to throw in some other ingredients that maybe normally you wouldn't think would be in meatloaf, but it really adds a nice little zing.
Right, right.
So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
In here we have our ground beef, and what makes this really great is the sausage.
Yes, the sausage.
By far. Anytime you add sausage into a pasta or anything like that,
And
it
you
just
can-
takes it up a notch.
Right, and you can do mild or hot, just
Right.
depending on what you like.
Yeah. So we're gonna add our sausage, our meat, our ground beef, our onion in. We have some bell pepper. And what you gonna add in, Mars?
Cheese, about a cup of cheese. Is that right, or do you
Yeah.
do more?
That's just a cup. You can add more. I mean, I love cheese. A lot of people use oats, but I love these butter flavored crackers.
Yes.
I mean, they just add some really nice buttery flavor to it.
They actually have another cracker now that they're selling that has pretzels on one side. I think that would be really good too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also you do a couple eggs, right?
Mm-hmm. Couple eggs, put some Worcestershire sauce. I never did figure out how to say that right. Is it Worcestershire?
Don't ask me. You're talking to the wrong person when you get Worcestershire. That's right, Worcestershire.
So,
Add some Worcestershire and some
Here we
A1.
and this is about a tablespoon or 2 or 3. Like I said, I don't usually measure very often. You know what? Remember when we first opened Marcy? And there was that guy who came in, I was waiting tables, and I came up and I said, sir, what would you like today? He said, well, what else do you have on the menu besides meatloaf? And I said, well, we're a meat and 3. That's all we have. It's kind of our menu, take it or
Right,
leave it
right.
kind of thing. He said, well, I don't like meatloaf. And I said, trust me, you're gonna love our meatloaf. And so I went back, you fixed him a beautiful
Right,
plate,
I
brought it back
remember
to him
that.
5 minutes later. This guy was in heaven.
Yes.
He loved it. Now there's no real nice way of mixing the meatloaf, so you just kind of dig in. Mix this all together
Doing a
really good.
good job.
Well, it's a little messy, but you know, that's just part of it, keeping it real. But I love that. I love that when someone comes and they're not expecting to have a great meal, or
Yeah.
they think they have a preconceived idea, just like I did about meatloaf in general. But then they taste it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, they do love our meatloaf. And we only have our meatloaf here at MarcyJo's in the winter. We actually don't do it in the summer, just because it's a hot menu. In the summer, we try to kind of get away from the oven cooking. So this is real, and it's served every Tuesday at MarcyJo's in the winter.
And then once you mix all this together, you're just gonna put it in like a 9x13 pan, and this is great if you have a lot of people coming over and it's just kind of a last-minute meal.
Since you're messy, you can go ahead and finish that.
Yeah. So then you just kind of press it nicely into the pan.
That's great. That looks
Yeah,
great.
it does. Now after you put it in the pan, you're gonna bake it in the oven for 350 for about an hour and a half or so.
Oh, don't that
until
look
it gets
good?
nice and crispy on the edges. That looks really nice.
Doesn't that look great?
Yes. Let's see if we can get somebody out here to taste this. What do you think? In fact, I know the perfect person. Hey, Foy, why don't you come on up here? Foy's our neighbor. He lives just right around the corner here, and I understand it's your birthday today.
That's right.
Is that
There's my
right?
birthday.
Aw,
It's
happy
your
birthday.
Thank
And
you
you're
very much.
84.
84 today.
My goodness, I would never guess 84.
Been
Well,
a
let's
long
go
time.
ahead and give him a little
Okay.
sliver
Okay.
here and see what he sees.
Try a piece of that and see what you think of that.
I love this meatloaf.
I do
Takes me
too.
back to Mom's all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Do you like that?
Oh,
I like that. Is it
good.
okay if I take this back to my table and finish
Yes,
it?
you sure
Aw.
can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Happy
All right, happy
birthday.
birthday, boy.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, folks. Mom's Meatloaf here at MarcyJo's, where we're changing lives.
One bite at a time.